Hello friends, welcome back to the online course on non-conventional machining or advanced machining processes. Today we are going to discuss about second part of abrasive jet machining. In part 1 we have covered introduction about abrasive jet machining, working principle of abrasive jet machining, then mechanism of material removal and different elements of abrasive jet machining system. Today in the part second we are going to discuss about the which are the process parameters and its effect on the performance of abrasive jet process, then process capabilities of abrasive jet machining, and at last we will discuss the different applications of abrasive jet machining process. So let us start with the parametric analysis of abrasive jet machining process. Okay, so it is important to understand the effect of various process parameters on the performance of the abrasive jet machining. Now I will give you a brief parametric analysis of abrasive jet machining process. Now this is a fishbone diagram. Okay, you can see here. Now this diagram is for AGM process where you can find out what are the different parameters which really affect the response in case of process performance. Okay, so let us start from here. If you see here, first parameter is the nozzle. Okay, the diameter of nozzle is the diameter of nozzle. You can see here, diameter of nozzle is one of the parameters. Then what are the types of nozzle you are using, or what type of material you are using for the nozzle. Another point is the cross section of the nozzle, whether it is circular or whether it is rectangular, etc. Then second is the mixing chamber. In that again, length of the chamber, type of mixing chamber, and bore diameter over there. Okay, then workpiece parameters like hardness of the workpiece and geometric details that you want to create on the workpiece. Okay, so these considerations we have to take into account. Then we have the another parameter, that is the abrasives. Okay, abrasive. If you see here, in abrasive we have to consider the flowability. Okay, flowability we have to consider. Then type of abrasives which we are going to use, or which we should also be used. Okay, and that we have to be considered. Then we have the volume fraction. Okay, so these are the important parameters under this abrasive. Okay, so once again I repeat, flowability of the abrasive, then types of the abrasive should be also considered. Okay, and then size of abrasives, that are again very important parameter. Then volume fraction of the abrasive, which is flowing along the air abrasive jet, and that is again the controlling parameter. As long as MRR, that material removal rate, is concerned, also it controls the accuracy of the machining cavity. Then next is the carrier medium. This is another very important parameter, which type of carrier medium you are using, whether it is air or some gas, both affect the performance of the process. Then what is the coherency of the carrier medium, and what is the pressure at which you are using it, and both of them will affect the performance of agent process. Okay, then machining parameter of the process, which includes the tra- uh, traverse traverse speed. This is a speed which is with which we are moving the workpiece to get the different shape and the size of the cavity, just like okay on the cavity. You want to then you want to create the this kind of cavity, that means on the workpiece. Okay, then we require the traverse speed. Okay, then we have the another parameter, that is the pressure with which the jet is coming out, and this pressure will decide the velocity of the jet. That means it will decide the kinetic energy, that is 1 half mu square. Then we have the mixing ratio. Okay, this mixing ratio will give you how much volume of abrasive is there in the abrasive air jet. And what is the SOD? SOD means what? Stand of distance. We have already seen it is important parameter which will decide the shape and size of the cavity, as well as we'll see in the next slide also. Okay, what is the effect of this effect SOD on the cavity? Then the performance of the process, especially abrasive jet machining process, can be evaluated in terms of machining rate. Okay, this is a parameter from which we can measure the performance, that is a machining rate, that is a volumetric machining rate or mass machining rate. You can also call as a penetration rate, which will be in term of per second. Okay, then what is the depth of cavity or depth of cut, then curve quality, and last is the surface roughness. What is the mean by curve quality? When you are or we are cutting the workpiece over there, and that time workpiece, whatever you want to cut, you are cutting that workpiece in the slot section. Okay, so that time we can tell that slot is a curve. Okay, and what are we are getting the quality of that curve, that is also the performance parameter. Okay, then again we have the surface roughness. Okay, that is again important parameter. Okay, now let us discuss the how the SOD or nozzle tip distance is affecting the shape and size of the cavity. It is well illustrated in this particular figure. Okay, so let us see. This is a nozzle, as you can see here, and jet is coming over here, correct? And this distance is the NTD. NTD means what? Nozzle tip distance. Okay, in first case you can consider as a G1. Now you can see here the size or the width of the cavity or the diameter of the cavity depends on the cross section of the nozzle, that is a D1. Okay, this is a width or diameter of the cavity. If you increase the this nozzle tip distance from this G1 to G2, you can see this, you will get the diameter of cavity D2, which is higher than the D1. However, the depth beyond the certain limit will decrease. Now, depth of the cavity beyond the certain limit of the NTD, it will decrease. Now, if you further increase this, then you make it for example G3. Then you can see here D3, and this D3 is greater than the D2. And if you further increase to G4, you can see this width has increased further. However, beyond a certain limit, if you further increase if you further keep on increasing the SOD or NTD, then the depth to which the penetration is taking place will keep decreasing. As the abrasive particles keep moving further away, their kinetic energy keeps decreasing because of these so many, or because of so many factors also, that kinetic energy is going to decrease. and that is why the depth keeping decreasing, but width or diameter keeps increasing as the SOD keeps increasing. Okay, now this is another diagram or another figure from which you will get the about effect of nozzle tip distance on shape and size of the cut. So here I have given the how the nozzle tip distance is increased and its the effect on the diameter of the cut and the shape. Okay, you can see here. Okay, now let us see the effect of certain process parameters on the performance of the AGM process. Okay, so let us now see the first effect of different process parameter on the performance of the AGM process. On first parameter, let us consider the abrasive flow rate. Now you can see here, as abrasive flow rate is increasing, the MRR, that is material removal rate, in terms of gram per minute is continuously increasing up to certain point or limit, and there is a optimum or maximum value of MRR, and beyond which it start decreasing. Now let us see what are the reasons for this. Once there is an increase in flow rate, you will get the higher MRR till the maxima, okay, that you obtain over there. Number of cutting parameters are there. As you keep increasing the flow rate, the number of abrasive particles that remove the material, uh, that number of abrasive particles that remove the material or cut the workpiece material keep on increasing. Okay, keep on increasing. And as a result of that, you can see MRR is increasing up to the maxima point. Okay, now at a lower abrasive flow rate, you will get lower MRR due to the less number of cutting edge or less number of abrasive particles. If a flow rate is greater than the optimum value, that is beyond this value, then velocity of jet decreases, and hence MRR also decreases. Okay, because the force that you are having of the jet is distributed among the more number of abrasive particles, and as a result of that, their velocity decreases, and once the velocity decreases, then MRR also start decreasing. And this is what you can see beyond this line. MRR start decreasing, and you can see it may join even a year beyond the certain limit or certain point. Now another parameter is the nozzle tip distance. We have already seen in previous two slide with reference to effect of nozzle tip distance on the cavity shape and size. Here we have seen, correct, nozzle tip distance and its effect on the cavity shape and size. Now here you can see effect of nozzle tip distance on the volumetric I am telling volumetric MRR, material removal rate. Now it is also having more or less the same trend or same nature as in the previous one. The MRR, volumetric MRR, is increasing, and then you have the maxima over there, and then it start decreasing. At if you take the example at 0.75 to 1 mm nozzle tip distance, maximum MRR is achieved. Okay, you can see here also. Now if that nozzle tip distance is low, you will get higher accuracy. That means the gap between the bottom of the nozzle and top surface of the workpiece is small, then you get more or less reproduction of the shape and nozzle cross section on the workpiece surface. Okay, so you get low curve width, then the curve width reduces, and low taper angle also. Okay, low taper angle. Okay, so this is the effect of the nozzle tip distance. Okay, you'll get the higher accuracy at low NTD. Okay, also we'll get the low curve width and low taper angle, and at higher mixing ratio, that is a, you can consider as a capital M is the mixing ratio, then material removal rate is also higher. Material removal rate also higher. And when the nozzle tip distance is very high, MR start decreasing. Okay, you can see here also MR start decreasing, and at very high nozzle tip distance, the velocity, as I mentioned earlier, that velocity of the abrasive particles keeps on decreasing because of the losses in the air, and that is why MRS start decreasing beyond the optimum value. Now nozzle pressure is another parameter which affects the MRR up to some extent. Now an important point to note over here is the critical pressure. Okay, this is the minimum pressure which is needed for the start of removal of material, because see, unless an abrasive particle has certain minimum kinetic energy, it cannot penetrate inside the workpiece surface. Only above that particular kinetic energy, it will start penetrating inside the workpiece surface and remove the material. So in all workpiece materials, you need certain critical pressure, and that critical pressure will be different for different workpiece materials. It will some extent depend on the size of abrasive particles also. And another parameter is the mixing ratio. Now I will show you some formula also for the mixing ratio. Okay, so here you can see, as the mixing ratio increase, the material removal is also increasing. You can see here the material removal in this particular case start from here only, and in this case it is very small nozzle pressure, so actual data are not available, and then data are available beyond the data available beyond this limit only. Okay, but there will the material removal if the pressure is less than critical pressure. So the effect is not very high of the nozzle pressure on the volumetric MRR. Kinetic energy is responsible for the material removal, right? That we know. So this is responsible for the erosion action that we have already discussed. Certain minimum velocity for the given material of the workpiece is needed. That I have already explained. That is a critical pressure. And for machining a glass at 150 meter per second using silicon carbide, you need to use 25 micron size abrasive particle. This is the minimum velocity that you require of the abrasive particles for the machining glass. Okay, and if the velocity of abrasive particle is less than 150 meter per second, it will not be able to remove the material from the glass. Okay, so this will decide whatever the critical pressure is. Okay, and that pressure should be able to give velocity equal to 150 meter per second or beyond that, and the critical pressure will give the velocity more than 150 meter per second. Okay, now another parameter, that is a mixing ratio. Mixing ratio is given by volume flow rate for abrasive particles, volume flow rate of abrasive particles to the volume flow rate of carrier gas. This is a mathematical formula. Now this decides the mixing ratio. You can see here, as mixing ratio increases, MRR, volumetric MRR in terms of mm cube per second also increases. There is optimum value beyond which it start decreasing. This we have discussed in last slide also. A maximum is observed between this EM and volumetric MRR. And there is another term which is known as mass ratio. It is given by MA divided by MA plus MG. Okay, where MA is mass of abrasive particle and MA plus G is the mass of abrasive particle plus the carrier gas. Now there is a formula also to calculate this. Okay, this is the effect of mixing ratio. Okay, now the question arises, what are the capabilities of abrasive jet machining process? In case of abrasive jet process, MRR is comparatively low as compared to many other advanced machining processes or non-conventional machining processes. It is somewhere 15 mmq per minute, and it does not mean that exactly 15. Okay, every time it may fluctuate. It will depend upon the, or it is vary with the machining parameters, types of the workpiece material, and types of the agent setup also you have already studied. But the advantage of this process is you can machine integrate detail, okay, integrate details, or you can produce integrate details on the component or the workpiece. You can have the CNC, you can have CNC AGM process where movement of workpiece and the jet you can numerically control with the help of CNC features of that machine. Then narrow slots can be cut. The size of the slot can be 0.1 to 0.25 mm, and the low tolerance can be achieved with the help of this AGM process. Low tolerance means can be achieved, that is plus minus 0.12 mm, and this taper can be minimized by properly setting the angle of, by setting the properly setting of angle of nozzle with respect to workpiece. Okay, these sections, thin sections can be machined using this AGM process. Then brittle materials, okay, it is very good, this process is very good for the brittle materials also. The inaccessible areas can be easily machined using this process. Okay, almost no surface damage because there is not a much amount of heat generation, and the workpiece is always in contact with the air. So this is again the positive point about the AGM process. So the rise in temperature is very low in case of AGM as compared to other, and there is no thermal damage to the workpiece, and no not large forces are acting. So there is no mechanical deformations of the workpiece. Okay, now let us discuss the applications. Now this AGM process is very much applicable in the manufacture of electronic devices, including device made of fragile materials. Okay, it is very good for deburring of plastics, nylon, teflon, and other similar part which may be made up of the very hard materials or even the soft materials. Then deflashing of small casting, the excess material which is not useful after you obtain the class casting, that can be deflashed or cut with the help of AGM process, that is application. Then drilling of glass wafers etc can be done using this process. Then cutting, markings, engravings, cutting thin section are the other applications. Okay, these are the applications where AGM is widely used. Glass frosting is another application or important application of AGM process. Frosting of the glasses is done so that glasses become opaque. Normally the glasses are transparent, but if you do a frosting with AGM process, they become opaque. Or if you want to write anything, any letter, any name on the glass, then AGM process is normally used for the writing purpose. Very fine letter can be written on the glass with the help of this AGM process. Okay, now you can see here the applications of various types of abrasives and the nozzle materials. Aluminum, you can see here aluminum grain size used is 10, 20, 50 micron size, and this is good for the cutting and engraving purpose. Then silicon carbide, normally used grain size 25 micron to 40 micron, and it is good for cutting and growing again. Then sodium bicarbonate, it is good for light finishing below the 50 degree centigrade temperature. Okay. Then dolomite grain, again for etching polishing purposes it is used. And last one is the glass beads, it is used for the light polishing and fine deburring purposes. Okay. Two commonly known material for making the nozzles are tungsten carbide, WC, and sapphire. If they are round, then their size, that is the diameter, is somewhere 0.2 to 1 and in case of tungsten carbide 0.2 to 0.8 okay. In case of sapphire, uh, it is a rectangle also, in which case you have these sizes varying 0.7 to 0.5 and 0.15 to 0.25 as the cross section. One can be the length and another can be width of the nozzle for this size. Nozzle life, if you consider the nozzle life in case of tungsten carbide, it is quite low, as you can see in time. It is 12 to 30 hours, and in case of sapphire it is 300 hours. But actual nozzle life will depend upon the how severely or how lightly you are performing the agent process. That will also decide the life of the nozzle. So this is about the abrasive jet machining, AGM. And for this my lecture, I will refer this book. Okay. Thank you very much. Please subscribe our channel and follow us. Thank you.
Hopefully you might have enjoyed the lecture. Then please do like the video and know your thoughts in comments. Please do share this video among your friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. After subscription, you can press the bell icon to never miss the notification regarding our new videos. Thank you so much.